Yo, what's up, peeps? How you doing? Uh, sorry, I'm still um, a little bit off since I had my surgery for my mass yesterday. Um, it is 1:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on July 12th, 2025, and this is a health update from your boy, Captain Gay American 826. Um, just letting you know I'm okay. Just letting you see that I'm all right. Just recovering from surgery yesterday. Uh, as you know, I haven't been streaming because I haven't been feeling very well, and I'll start off by saying thank you to everyone who's for your concerns and your support. I do love you for that. Um, and just to so I have been I was sick with the cold. That was the first thing. You can still hear a little tiny bit in my voice because my voice is sore, and I don't know if it's because of that, but now because of the surgery. Sorry, my apologies. Um, but the other thing was that as I was dealing with the cold, uh, I was also dealing with a mass that I had um on my chest, which I had for a little over 5 years, and it was growing just a little bit. Um, but at the same time that I had the cold, it had grown considerably and fast, and it got infected. Um, so I went to the urgent care where I have my primary doctor, and they they cut into it and um, drained it as much as they could, but but it ended up being that uh, I needed to have it. I need to have it. The main thing, the main whatever was in there, uh, surgically removed. Otherwise, the same thing. It would have happened all over again. So yeah, in order to avoid that, I said, okay, let's have the surgery. Um, Even though also the cost was on my mind because, like I said, I even though I have insurance with and I have it through the Affordable Care Act. Um, I mean, it's something like a surgery could cost you. Um, Before when they wanted to remove it before all that happened, my out of pocket again, I had a same through the Affordable Care Act, but I had a different insurance coverage through the same company. Uh, but at that point, it was $1,147 that I had to pay out of pocket. So I said, nope, I don't have it. I don't have it, and so that stopped me from having it removed. Then, um, unfortunately, that's the way life is. Costs can get you. Um, so yeah. Uh, so this time around, I said I have to have it removed. I have to do it. I have to do it. So last I made an appointment for last Monday um to go to a surgeon um and tell me, what my what would it detail and things like that. And then I made the appointment for yesterday, which was July 11th. Um, and um, of course, I worked. I worked the night before on Thursday. I closed, um, and I could not have anything. Nothing to eat. No drink. Nothing after midnight. Because again, I was gonna have the surgery, and so I had to be at the hospital at 8 in the morning. So I went to the hospital, uh, got there about 7:45, and checked in. Then not long after I was sitting, a nurse called my name, and I went and she asked me some more questions, and so the whole time everybody asking questions, do you have this? Do you have that? They're doing it, important things, annoying sometimes, some of them, but important. Um, and took my vitals, and then gave me they always give you a bracelet. I got to cover that second one because that has the information. Um, but anyway, so then after that, then I went and I sat back in the lobby until they called me again. And that was maybe, I would say, 10-15 minutes later. Uh, they called me again. They took me to the where the gurneys were. There were already people in gurneys, and uh, they again asked me more questions. Um, you know, find out was the procedure that was being done, things like that, and explain to you what would entail. And there was the nurses for the IV and taking your vitals again, um, and then there was the anesthesiologist letting you know um, the type of anesthesia because I have different ones. Um, and I also had to um, uh, they closed the curtain and gave me some privacy so I can um, you know change into the famous that famous little thing robe, whatever you want to call it, which hold on, that yeah, so that's me on the gurney. That's me on the gurney. um Anyway, so yeah, I crack jokes. I gotta tell you, while I was at work, so many things ran through my mind, having this to have the surgery in the morning, and there were like nerve wracking thoughts. So I got myself nervous for it. But that morning, I was there and I cracked jokes with the nurses. So, and on top of that, I had two friends text me to wish me well, and they both let me know each one that um, I they had me in their prayers for everything to go well. Thank you, uh, Brandon, who was the awesome guy who put my computer together, my PC together, and Flavio, who is a coworker friend, and he comes into my chat once in a while. Um, Thank you guys, and thank you all of you. Um, I love all of you. Uh, but yeah, so I uh, finally, after a while, the doctor came in. He explained to me what the procedure was going to be. The anesthesiologist with the anesthesiologist, she did say it would be a local anesthesia, because and not too strong, because I do suffer from sleep apnea. So if they gave me anything stronger, it would be one, it would be a little more complicated. She said that then it would have to intubate me, which is a tube down your throat. I've had that before um when I was hospitalized at one point a few years ago, where they had to intubate me, and oh, that was not good. Um, Not to mention the fact that the worst besides that was the colostomy bag, which ow, and it was annoying. If you're a guy, yeah, you know, colostomy, yeah, you know. Ouch. Um, so then, then after a bit, uh, they rolled me to the operating room, um, gave me the anesthesia. But again, since it was light, I felt them cut into me for a few minutes. I felt that pain, not as painful as a toothache, but pain, um, until I finally conked out for at some point. Um, the good conk out, not the bad pack, not the ooh, flat line. No, no, no. Um, and um, well, especially because they gave me oxygen, the one up the nose. Um, and so then finally it was over. If felt like it felt like a short because again I I conked out. Um, and then they told me, I asked, how long did it take, and they said, it was about 45 minutes. They thought it was gonna be an hour, but it took 45 minutes. Um, and so then she said it was. Um, the nurse explained to me that it was actually bigger than what they thought it was and deeper than what they thought it was from just looking at it. And so uh, then I asked, how big, and she's like, about yay big. I'm like, wow. Uh, but um, apparently, they were taking it to the as they were taking it to the lab, or had it to take to the lab. The nurse did ask me. She goes, Do you want to see it?" And I'm one of those people that, even as they're prodding me for for blood or whatever, or IVing, like I feel a little pain, just the slightest, but I look and I watch, and curious. I'm always curious. I'm looking, and I'm studying and I'm learning at the same time. Not that I'm going to do it to myself. I would never do it to myself, but um, I'm like I can look at blood and guts, and it won't sicken me or make me hurl, like other people, and it's fine. Everybody's different, but for me, it's like I watch intently, and I'm like curious, and I'm like, interesting. But it won't get me to that type of point. Um, it's so she asked me if I wanted to see it, so I said yes, and so they showed me the jar that it was in, that was in liquid, which is formaldehyde, um, and that way they took it to the lab to have it analyzed. Um, don't ask me about the results because I don't know. At least not yet. Most probably by the time that I have my appointment to have my stitches removed. Um, But then I changed back into my. They closed off the curtain, so I had privacy, and I changed back into my street clothes. Um, and then she gave me some paperwork to discharge. I called my ride, um, and as she was leading me to the waiting area, she said, you're not going to work, are you? Please, she's like, promise me you're not going to work." And for me, it's hard because since I live paycheck to paycheck, I don't get paid time off. When I'm off, I don't get paid. Those days are not paid. Um, and in that, bills do pile up. So um, it's like I see it as a must work. I must work. I like there's no choice in the matter. But and I expressed that to her, but she's like, no, you can't. You can't go to work. You can't go at least for 10 to 14 days. You can't go to work, and you can't lift anything above 10 pounds. And I thought maybe I could work, a cashier too, so I could do the cashier part and not if it's something heavy that's more than 10 pounds, I can have somebody else help me out. But she said, no, you can't go to work. You have to stay home and recover. So she went to the and got the surgeon doctor to and had him fill out a note, an excuse for me to take to work and give to my managers, which is here. I blacked out the stuff that is not for your consumption. But yeah, that's the note I gave to my without the redacted, but to my job to put in my files. And they did give me a prescription for which one of the things that I'm not too keen about, but it's for pain is Oxy. And if anybody knows about Oxy, it's known to be an addictive thing. Uh, but they gave me a few, and you know, uh, for pain. After that, I'm not using it again. After it's done. Um, but yeah, and so I dropped off the prescription as well. Um, then finally went home to rest. I came home to rest. By that time, it was like 2 in the afternoon. Um, and yeah, so I slept for a while. Had coffee because I didn't normally I have it in the morning, but I couldn't have anything. I couldn't even have breakfast. And so yeah, so yeah, that was the end of my ordeal. And I would have made this video yesterday, but I still was very groggy coming off of the anesthesia. And so, but um, today on July 12th, 2025, uh, I made this video for you guys to let you know I'm okay, to let you see that I'm all right, um, and to let you know too that I will 100% get back to streaming. Yeah, although I don't have to lift things, um, like at least I can sit and I can do this and I could be streaming for you guys. I'm sure though I'll stream maybe a couple of hours at a time for now, for the next couple of weeks because again, too many hours I'm sure will be a burden on myself as I'm recovering from the surgery, which hold on. It's thundering outside. See, um, I have to go get back and get the stitches removed. Um, but yeah, that's been it. And that's reason why um, I haven't been streaming. Majority of the reason why I haven't been streaming. But I will be uh, finishing up with the um, editing and posting. I have everything. Well, I still have to edit a few before I post. Um, but I'll keep doing that. I'll keep doing that, and just stay tuned in my post section. Uh, when I will put there that what when and what time I'm gonna um, stream again. Start streaming from. All right. Um, again, again, from the bottom of my heart. Sorry, I feel like I'm gonna cry. Um, I love you. I love you and appreciate you, and I thank you um for your patience and your understanding. And I will see you soon. Bye bye.